I just been reminded here about the Crucifixion mission. Do you remember that mission?
Yeah.
That is one of the craziest missions
Ooh,
I've ever seen in a game.
that was
Dead set.
one of the hardest couple of days, um, just because you never you never think that 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 you'll
It's
have
gonna
to,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And even that the way that there are characters in the mission that seem to be more concerned with the um, response and the
Publicity.
feedback and the
Yeah.
publicity less than concerned with the human being, um, really hit me, because I have always, I was on the debate team, and that was my speech when I was 13, 14, was how society will often put people on a pedestal, and then they make a mistake, or they change and they evolve, and people decide, oh, we don't like you anymore, or you're not relevant anymore. And then there's a human that is kind of left bleeding and vulnerable, and we just don't care. It's not our problem. I remember my speech, the comparison that I made, which a lot of people wouldn't probably respond to as well now, but I had said it's very much like Grisabella in Cats. Is you have this character that is so popular and beloved, and then you see what happens when everybody forgets about them, and they're still hurting, and they don't know why nobody loves them anymore. They're still, um, their heart still beats the same, and they still want to be loved and accepted. Uh, and so when I was able to see in this game that the world that what Night City had become over time was something that glorified, a person sacrificing themselves, was really, really hard. Just to see, like, man, we as a society need to start caring about human beings and be compassionate for other people. Otherwise, how far will we go as a society for entertainment and publicity at the expense of another human being?
And I was one of the first to upload that mission to YouTube, and I remember the comments vividly, and they're still coming into this day of just everyone that comments has a long paragraph of what they thought of that mission. I've never seen anything like
Sure.
it,
Yeah.
with all different opinions as
Yeah.
well. Like I don't know who came up with that mission, but yeah, you could say it's controversial. But I think it's an unbelievable mission, really, because you half the people might not ever see it
Sure.
because I think it's just a random sort of event that happens, and then you can either follow him in the car or you can walk
Right.
away.
Right.
You know, there's so many times you can walk away before getting to that final point. And I think it was the last mission I played on a weekend, and then I just had to put the controller down after that because that was
and
just
i
crazy.
and I think that's what's so important with this game, and what I love about being an actor, be it in theater, in film, in television, in gaming, in
Mm.
whatever the medium that you're watching be. My favorite thing about going to a play or seeing a movie is to leave the theater, and talk to the people that you saw the project with, and get their feelings
Mm.
and learn, based on their life experience, how did this impact you? We saw the exact same movie, but did we see the exact same movie? Did we respond to it in the exact same way? And how can we have conversations and figure out what the common ground is, and how did your life experience make you see the same scene differently? So I think if we are able to have those conversations with each other, especially about controversial points, and come to a compassionate understanding of, I see where you're coming from, I disagree, but I see where you're coming from, then it teaches us to be a more empathetic society. And I also think it's necessary when we're playing games, and we're surrounded by arguably these traumatic situations that happen, to allow ourselves to be impacted by that. And like you said, to like put the controller down and go, I gotta walk away and process this for a second, because you
Mm.
just vicariously endured trauma, and you should need the time to process it and see how you feel about that, and how does that impact the choices you make in your real life.
Were you told that the player was going to be able to nail him?
No.
Really?
I was going through every everything that we recorded in the game. I did not know until I was voicing it. So I had no idea how everything was going to work, and of course it's a very controversial mission and situation, and I think
ballsy is the word I said.
Yeah, I think so much of the entertainment that we're seeing now is stirring up controversy and is starting conversations, and teaching us about what we value as human beings. And I think those are necessary and important conversations.
Father, Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit.
Amen. Probably my hardest gig, that, but I got through it.
What now?
Going home, where I'll sleep for 2 days straight. Be in touch about your compensation soon.
Be waiting for your call.
Yep. Later.